What you want, when you want, where you want it. On radio, on TV, online with our partner Chorus, it's the AM Show.
Now, New Zealand's longest running radio station, Radio Dunedin, now has its very own documentary. So they've gone to film, they've gone big. It's the fascinating story of the cast of colourful volunteers who have kept it going for 95 years through thick and thin. So moviegoers can catch some extremely limited screenings in Auckland from tonight. Director Grant Findlay, who is one of us, when I say one of us, works with us at 3, is right behind this. Grant, nice to have you on the show, mate.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Tell people about this.
Well, effectively, the documentary is a little bit of a history lesson, you know, like this is New Zealand's longest running station. And so it started in 1922 and it's been through so much throughout its history. You know, it's almost 95 years old. You know, it's got, it's had arson attempts, it's had lack of volunteers, lack of funds, because it used to be this just volunteer station. And then, you know, along the way, commercial radio stations started popping up, and then it sort of had to fight for its place in the world.
And it's still going?
Yeah, it's still going, yeah. MediaWorks bought the station about, 10 years or so ago, and then now it's sort of surviving in this commercial world where all stations are networked, but it's still a truly local community station.
Because I've been in there a few times to do radio live shows out of there, and you actually do get the feeling. And Mark, I think you worked there as well.
I was part of the stable there for some time.
So you walk in there, don't you? You walk in there and you truly do believe that you're walking into somewhere independent and different to other stations.
Yeah, and the thing that got me is that it sort of feels like you're stepping back in time a little bit.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
Does it feel like WKRP in Cincinnati, that sort of environment?
It's sort of, yeah, I don't actually know that reference.
It's an old-time TV program. Why did you decide to do this, though?
Well, I think it's just a world that people don't normally get to see, and that's what fascinated me about it. I think anyone who's interested in media will enjoy this documentary because it is a glimpse into this sort of small community station that's kind of it's still rating very, very well. Like it's the #1 rating station in Dunedin, which is brilliant.
And that's history, isn't it? You see, that's what they call a heritage brand, isn't it? When people are so loyal to something for so long. You know, when I get the feeling when I went in there a number of times, it's like the wood panelling, isn't it? It's so old. You feel like you don't smell mothballs, but you feel like there's a lot of wood panelling around you or something. Is that a fair description? Yeah,
it is actually. It's sort of it's I don't know. There's just something about it. Like you walk in there and it's. I think in general, Dunedin is quite an old school place.
Yes.
And so, you know, you've still got, on the station, you've still got your pet lines, your buy, sell and swap. It's just really community driven.
So it's like you've still got the buy, sell and swap. So that's like a garage sale. So you've had Trade Me, you've had everything online. Is Radio Dunedin, does it believe in online? Is it online?
It is online.
Yeah.
Yes. So they've sort of been dragged kicking and screaming into the modern world, and yeah, it's still going. You know, it's a fighter, and that's really the whole theme of the documentary. You know.
What was been your favourite story that you heard from over the 95 years that it's been around?
I think some of the big moments, like there was at one point back in I think the 40s when. There was very little stations around. So in Christchurch, this young kid was listening to his station in Dunedin from Christchurch. So he was tuning in, and then when it came to 6 p.m, Radio Dunedin turned on their frequency, and it drowned out his Christchurch station that he was into. So he was like, oh, bloody wrote threatening letters and stuff to the station. Ended up getting to the point where he was so angry, he burnt down their transmitter. You know, just stuff like that. Like, and that's the thing. There's just so many passionate people in this documentary. You know, down to the people who turn up every day and volunteer on the station, because at night it's still a volunteer-run station. And then, you know, and the listeners, they're also passionate. They've got 9 radios in their house, all tuned to Radio Dunedin.
In every room.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like Mark when he was there.
Yeah.
I was part of 93 Rocks, and it was all part of that Radio Otago stable there with 4XO and Radio Dunedin.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I sold radio advertising.
That's right.
Well, I didn't actually sell much of it. I was dreadful. I was one of the worst ever salesmen to ever work for this company.
I bet. Grant, so lovely to see you on this side of the camera and not behind it where we normally see you.
Yeah, good
well
on you,
done.
Grant. Yeah, well done.
Thanks so much.
Good work, mate. It's hard work as well. We are 4 minutes away from 8 o'clock.